us other parts of his home and territory and introduces us to his top commander. Security experts suggest Cross-Barrier has more than 1,000 armed gang members, including recently escaped inmates.
As you can see, a lot of his armed soldiers and followers are.
Bonjour, bonsoir, mesdames et messieurs, comment nous? Moi, j'espère que nous tout en forme avec Jésus. Et bien là, je viens débattre un combat ensemble avec nous, de façon que moi et l'État qui t'a cherché vite l'homme, yo dépenser un cob, yo mette dehors, dit qu'importe monde qui t'a va joindre vite l'homme, yo venir ensemble avec. Moi, toujours a dit démentir nèg ça parce que yo connaît côté bandi yo connaît côté nèg ça yo pas ka di yo mettons avis de recherche de yo mettez cob pour chercher yo. Et bien là, regardez bien pour nous qui est-ce qu'il a. Éviter l'homme innocent, il a fait une interview ensemble avec monsieur là et blanc américain qui vient faire interview et gen police cap sécurité et blanc yo et puis vite l'homme tout nèg li yo là dans des cap sécurité le tout comme yo patron. Eh bien ça m'a dit la police même côté avec bandit actuellement là voilà vite l'homme innocent te mettez un cob dehors pour yo chercher qu'on l'air qui la monte ça mi ça son bail extraordinaire pas ka dit et puis m'pa quitter nous tande que la fête vient ensemble avec blanc il a montré des bagages il a parlé des bagages comprendre et bien Haïti c'est bandit qui a contrôlé pour ça nous pour voir est-ce que c'est tout bon est-ce que c'est une réalité et comme nous gagnons cette tête qui en fonction là nous pour connaître qui j'en bail là j'aime éviter l'homme t'as semblé éviter l'homme vraiment malade parce que monsieur petit un peu ouais on ca éviter l'homme gain un président pas gain mes amis chaise bou et bail tête charge et bien va quitter nous tendre interview ensemble avec éviter l'homme merci à la prochaine pas oublier abonner channel là partager là tout l'autre ça.
Who are holding us back, he says. We need to get rid of the system and return stability to Haiti. He speaks with intention and calls for greater dialogue. But if it's the same system that's been in power, then as armed groups, we will never put down our weapons, he says.
And so do you have regular communications with, as you say, the other armed groups?
Yes, we're united, he tells me. The gangs have formed a coalition known as vite, or living together, and collectively they push back on foreign intervention, holding tight their grips over a fractured state, some using terror tactics like kidnapping, rape, and murder to sustain control.
Is that something you've participated in ordering your men and women to kidnap?
He says he hopes to defend himself in court against those allegations. And while not denying his followers have kidnapped people, he deflects blame to outside forces for creating a state of corruption as he sees it. He's eager to show us other parts of his home and territory and introduce
around us. And he's suggesting that we follow and drive with him.
He brings us to the edge of his territory. We notice his guards, normally curious and watching us, are instead looking outward, cautiously, toward another gang's territory. A reminder that the coalition of gangs might be more fragile than portrayed.
The violence, the deaths that have played out, do you take any responsibility for that?
He only says he made mistakes and is not perfect. He blames politicians. We're interrupted. Something nearby puts his guards on edge. We pick up the conversation a short distance away. Senior editor Caitlin Hu further pressing for an explanation to the horrors we've seen in Haiti.
But we have also met in hospitals women, children, innocent people who have been burned, who have been forced to leave their homes, who have been shot, who have been raped. Why are innocent people suffering in this struggle?
He does not clearly answer. Instead, he frames the months of deadly street violence as collateral damage. He points the finger at police, saying they refuse to engage in dialogue and instead recklessly open fire. Police say they're desperately trying to keep the gangs from gaining more ground. Vitolom claims to be a man of faith, devout in practicing voodoo, a common religion here in Haiti.
I've heard rumors, and I don't know how true they are, so I ask you that you have voodoo protection. Do you feel that protection?
Yes, he tells me confidently. adding that he prays daily for his fellow Haitians.
Ultimately, what is it going to take to bring stability and a future of calm to this country?
He says he and the other armed groups need to be included in discussions of Haiti's future. That's the only way he sees convincing gang members to drop their guns in exchange for a future outside of violence. As curfew nears, we head back the way we came, Vite, stopping several times along the way, mingling with locals, handing out food, smiling as though on a campaign trail.
Are we getting out?
He wants us to meet these two men, blind refugees. They tell us Vite took them in, but it leaves us wondering, why help these men and force so many others out of their homes? Look at actions over words, he tells me. As we near the edge of his territory and the end of our 5-hour visit,
All right, let's not hang around here if we don't have to.
Vite gets out of his motorcade, waves for us to move forward, and strolls to the desolate street corner.
À la prochaine.
He then comes to our door and shakes each of our hands. His actions, intentional and symbolic.
Everyone good? Yeah.
Here we are, just a few blocks from the U.S. Embassy, and that's clearly a demonstration of how confident he is and the many he has around him displaying their show of force.
A flexing of strength in a lawless nation, where, today at least, gangs hold the power. David Culver, CNN, Port-au-Prince, Haiti.